Well, the vaccine gloves are off, and Washington Governor Bob Ferguson is maybe not so wisely throwing the first punch at Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Last night, Bob Ferguson went on CNN criticizing Florida's latest move for medical freedom and ending vaccine mandates throughout the state. He invited parents who are concerned about these changes for their family to move to Washington state, where they would be ruled by the science. Well, I propose a house swap. How about these liberals in Florida swap places with Washington conservatives who are looking for more freedom? Hey everyone, I'm Julie Barrett with Conservative Ladies of America. Last night, I got tagged in an X post by a woman in Washington. She is Mother, I think it's Mother or Mutha, PNW. So thanks for the tag. She is, I believe she's in rural Eastern Washington, and a boy mama and very outspoken for conservatives in Washington state. So be sure to go give her a follow. She tagged me in this post of Bob Ferguson on X, where he was on CNN inviting parents in Florida to come move to Washington if you want to have a governor who follows the science, unlike Governor Ron DeSantis, who is giving parents the freedom to make decisions about whether their children should have vaccines of any kind or not. This comes, of course, as things are heating up across the country. We had RFK Jr. testifying before Congress last week, and we had the West Coast Alliance forming last week. Yesterday, September 8th, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed an executive order making the COVID vaccine accessible for the people of Minnesota. Many states are going against the Trump administration and the CDC's new guidelines for the COVID vaccine to be only for high-risk populations. They want to make sure that everybody who maybe doesn't even need it can get their hands on it. They say that this is following the science. Well, I thought Bob's segment on CNN, and I only caught this quick clip, but I thought it was pretty interesting, and it gave me a good idea for a house swap, because we would love to have more conservatives come down here to Florida and fight to hold the line and keep Florida DeSantis red. And maybe Washington would like to have some more liberals to help support their Democrat far radical left agendas. We would, of course, need some sort of vetting service. So I could see myself being something like a matchmaker, like in a dating service, but for housing. So I'm going to need to give this a little bit of thought. Well, when I received this tag on this video yesterday, my husband said, "Oh, are you going to make a response to that?" And Mother PNW also said, "Are you going to do a video about this?" So here's the video about this. Let's take a look at Bob Ferguson on CNN.
Florida isn't even bothering to take a look at what those impacts might be for public health. So look, if you're a parent in Florida watching this and you're concerned about the health for you and your family, hey, come to a state like Washington State, where we're guided by the science, and we'll do everything we can to make sure you have accurate information to make good decisions for your family.
This comes on the heels of a press conference that was actually made at the same time last week. It was last Wednesday when the West Coast Alliance was announced. DeSantis and Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo were doing a press conference on Florida's medical freedom. And Florida is now going to have a MAHA commission that will be led by the First Lady, Casey DeSantis, and Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins. This is to give people the freedom to make medical choices on their own without government mandates, and also to ensure that there is no discrimination against patients who do choose not to get vaccinated. Here's a clip from Florida's Surgeon General clearing the air on this matter, making it very clear that this is about giving Floridians choice in their medical care and not mandating them. The vaccines are certainly available for people who want it here in Florida, but no one is going to be forced to get a jab.
Yeah, so what's interesting is I don't actually disagree with the words that he's saying. And I'll add that, I have tremendous respect for President Trump. I mean, this guy has been, so many people have tried to, honestly, to destroy him. I mean, just to put it quite simply. And there he is, continuing to shine with no bitterness, not carrying anything like that. So tremendous respect for President Trump. What I would say is that again, this is not about taking away people's vaccines. You can take as many as you want. This is about whether people have a right to choose what they put in their bodies, and whether people have a right to choose what they put in their children's bodies. And you know, and what's the other thing I would mention, Mike, is that there are countries like in Sweden, for example. I think the United Kingdom is another country, and maybe Denmark also. They have no vaccine mandates, none. The sky's not falling over there. You know, they're not like rife with outbreaks. I mean, do people not believe that parents can talk to their pediatricians and make an informed decision? You know, is that what people are saying? So, you know, I think it's nonsense. There is a right position here and there is a wrong position here. And the right position is very clearly, unequivocally, and absolutely that people and parents have a right to choose what they put in their children's bodies. Period.
Yesterday, Governor Ron DeSantis was doing another press conference in Plant City to announce our 2A tax holiday that started yesterday and runs through the end of the year. Yes, it seems like almost daily we have new freedoms and great news happening here in Florida. I highly recommend Florida if you are looking for freedom. But here's the catch. If you do move to Florida, you've got to get in the fight to keep Florida free and keep Florida red. His point here was that parents have the right to make the choice and people should not be discriminated against in their vaccination decisions for, like, if they're getting a surgery, they shouldn't have to be vaccinated in order to get that surgery, which is one of the things that we saw happen quite a bit during COVID.
And, you know, just as a dad, you know, we want to make sure that the parents are able to be in the best position they can to do what they need for their kids. And if their kid needs a surgery or something, to be able to say you're going to be rejected. Remember, they were, and we fought back against this in Florida, but there was a long time in this country during COVID where people were being rejected for medical care in different parts of the country because of the COVID jab, because of not taking the COVID jab, including people who were naturally immune because they had a prior infection.
I think we are going to continue to see this great sifting of blue states and red states. Hopefully more red states will follow Florida's lead and create medical freedom. I know in a lot of red states, you have a big rhino problem at the executive level, which is one of the ways that Florida is able to get around some of this stuff, is that you have DeSantis putting these policies into place. Whereas in some states like Idaho and Texas, you have a more rhino governor. So this is a fight, and I hope to see it happen more in red states. But what we're definitely going to see is blue states are going to double down. They are not afraid of the Trump administration. They're not afraid of the courts, the DOJ, anybody. They're going to continue to double down. And I think they're going to continue to build out their frameworks for whatever the next crisis is going to be, whenever that may be. So if you are living in a blue state, it is important that you be on high alert and make plans and prepare to protect your family, because that next crisis is coming someday, sooner or later. Please do share this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.